Hi, this is MrByZ, and I've got the latest wave of Black Series 6 figures to go ahead and review. So let's go ahead and open those up and take a look at
There we go. I got the wheel out, and so you can set him on the base. He can stand up high. Give you an idea how tall that stands. Then I'll put Ezra, who is a shorter figure, next to him. You can see kind of how that works about the height-wise. It's a nice little base. Again, it's something extra with an Astromech we haven't been getting. And yet this is a fully new mold. Why can't, on the other Astromech figures, we get more stuff with them that adds to it in different ways? But yeah, it's a great figure. Like I said, I'm not always the biggest fan of Chopper. I'm not saying I hate him or anything, but wow, this is such a really good figure. It's like that Build-A-Droid figure from a couple years ago. That really blew me away, the way they did Chopper for that. So that's really cool. The only thing I would recommend is be careful shoving in this wheel. It shoves in quite a ways into the bottom of the body, and when you do so, it's very hard to get out. I had to wiggle it with my fingernails, just barely grasping on the wheel to finally get it out. You could see earlier how far it was in there. There was no other way I found to get it out. If you know a way, please comment. That'd be great. I didn't find any way to then push it back out, or I tried tilting the head and everything, turning the head like you would on the other Astromechs and that, but nothing happened there. But if you know, please let us know. It'd be great to know. So then you have the rocket booster part, which will go into the base, if you will. And you can attach that in your chopper. Looked like some picture showed it kind of articulated, like you can go off to the side. I can't really see that. I'm going to see if I can get the wheel out of him so I can put him on this base here. And here's Chopper. This is a figure. I'm not always the biggest fan of the Astromechs in the Black Series because it just repaints that first R2, and we get charged $20 for another repaint. This is an entirely new mold, and they did more to it than just that. We'll get into that a little bit. This, he's got, his head is articulated, the legs are articulated. The ankles are kind of articulated. They don't move a whole lot here. You can see the wheel in here. I actually put the wheel in there. I'm having a hard time getting it back out. Because it came with the rocket booster in there, and I'll get to that here in a minute. First, let's just look at Chopper as it is. So his front arm does pop out, so you can have that. So it comes out, and then he does have the arms out of his head. It's almost like they looked at that Disney Build-A-Droid Chopper, and Hasbro said, oh, well, we can do that. And, he does come with the matching leg for the other side. I didn't realize this through most of it, not even with the figures or anything, that he went through most of the series, actually almost the whole series, but with mismatching legs. And there's the one episode where he finds that matching leg and he wants it, and then has to give it up. But so they do come with that, which is nice, because again, this is an extra accessory for a small figure, and for most of the Astromechs, we're not going to see that. Look at that Amazon exclusive 3-pack from last year. And he's got all sorts of little things. I love this figure. I'm not the biggest fan of Chopper necessarily, but I love that it has all these extra parts. And then he does come, like I showed earlier, he has the rocket booster, which when I figure out how to take the wheel out of his body, this can focus. Ow. Next, we'll look at Obi-Wan here. Now, I never got the Celebration one, so I hadn't seen the Phantom Menace Obi-Wan yet. That's a very great head sculpt. Looks a lot like Ewan McGregor. Don't quite see that mole on his forehead. But other than that, it looks really good. Like the stance I got him in is kind of that. I go for that stance, like when he's about to take on Darth Maul there at the end of the movie. It's got really good articulation. I saw somebody complain about his hip articulation. I don't know. It seems okay to me. But he's got a spot so you could put his lightsaber hilt on his belt. He does not come with the communicator like so many Obi-Wans in the past have, nor does he come with the extra hands that were in the Celebration version that Hasbro touted early on were going to come with this version. So that's kind of a disappointment, especially when you look at some of the other figures in this wave that came with so many different accessories. And this is just a basic figure with a lightsaber, no other accessories. Those two other hands would have been great for this. But it is a very good looking figure as it is. But those missing hands are a slight disappointment. Next we have Ezra here. Ezra, I mean, height-wise, like if we compare to Aphra, you can see he's a little shorter than the regular figure. He's supposed to be more of a kid here, not fully grown. He does come with his funky lightsaber gun type thingy. It's a decent figure. I really like the detail they did on the vest here. It's kind of like fringy in that. He's got a separate belt piece here. He did not come with a separate hilt for his lightsaber. Let me see. I didn't check to see. No, does not appear that this is removable at all either. So I don't see a place to hang the lightsaber on the belt anyway. You see the face here. Again, this isn't exactly right out of the cartoon, but it's supposed to be a more realistic version. He does have the emblem on his back. I can't remember if anybody ever said what this emblem is supposed to be for. Somebody's probably yelling at me right now. It's for this. You don't. If it was said in the first season, I don't remember too much from that. You can see the detail on his wrist. He has his little shin guard or whatever it is. And then he does come with the helmet. And I believe this will fit on him. Let's see. Ooh, yeah. Well, so you can put it on him if you want as well. You can see his hair hangs out there a little bit in the back. It's a nice look at Ezra. Take a look at is Aphra here, Dr. Aphra. Obviously a fairly new character as she's been in the comics, popular. She's gotten her own series. Her helmet is removable. Has a little bit of hat hair there. They clearly tried to make this a realistic looking Aphra, not exactly like the comic, but if you want to compare it to the 3 3/4 inch, you can see the slight difference in faces there. Those are different belts too. I did not notice that until just now. Is this a reuse belt? I don't think so. But those are definitely very different belts. Her vest is removable. Somebody pointing this out, I didn't even realize it. This is one of the first figures in the Star Wars line that has the ab crunch. Because I know the Marvel figures, lots of them have that, but I didn't even think about it. The Star Wars figures usually don't have that. She's got the full articulation that you'd expect on Black Series beyond that. Her little tattoo thing on her arm is there. It's a well-detailed figure. If you're really into the comics, this is definitely a good figure. She does come with her blaster here, which looks like a slightly different thing of a DL-44, right? It's not quite Han's blaster, but, they're all modified, right? So that's just a look at Aphra right there. Then we have BT-1. This is, of course, the murderous astromech droid from the Aphra and Darth Vader series. We've got a 3 3/4 inch version of him in the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive set last year. This one's a little bit different. If I grab the 3 3/4 inch, you can notice he's got some attachments on his legs on the 6 inch version. The 3 3/4 inch does not. But the 3 3/4 inch seems to have extra paint on the guns on top, whereas the 6 inch versions looks to be pretty much the same for the most part. Which is right, I don't know. But the 6 inch version has movable parts, like this will move, and this gun over here will move. So that's pretty cool. These pieces on the legs you can actually pull off, and much like all the rest of the astromechs in the series, comes with the other piece to put back in there. The other astromechs, well, originally R2-D2 had it so you could have the rockets in there, of course. And this has just more weapons to pop out of the guns. You can take the guns off the head, and much like the 3 3/4 inch version, the panels attached to these guns, you can take those panels off and just put them right into the head to have a mostly flush version. The body is the basic astromech mold we've had in the past, complete with the opening doors and accessories inside, just like that original R2-D2 from way back when. Decent figure, especially if you like the comic series. Nice addition. And I talked about in Chopper, there's all the extra pieces that help make the astromech worthwhile. Here again, lots of extra pieces, which again makes me hate that Amazon set from last year that had the 3 astromechs and no extra pieces, still for $60. It seemed like a ripoff. Finally, we have the Homicidal 000, which at first glance seems to be just a basic repaint of C-3PO, but it's a little bit more than that. I mean, first of all, yes, you have the hands here with all the different implements of torture and death on them. They're, it's pretty cool to have that. He does come with normal hands too that you can replace out. These look more like the forearm hands, as they can actually grip things. He does have the piece here in the middle. I believe on the first 3PO, if I remember correctly, the arms were not movable. Is that what it was? Or they were movable and didn't have this piece? I'm not trying to remember now. I have to go look. But he has the piece that slides up and down, which reminds me of the Bandai model kit, actually. So you get that articulation there. From what I understand, this is the same mold that's in the Batu Disneyland version of C-3PO that is out now in that 3-pack. Rest of it looks to be basic repaint of 3PO, yes. Nice repaint. It's got some weathering on him here and there. And, with the extra hands, again, if he can come with extra hands, why can't Obi-Wan? That seems a little odd. But nice addition to the series. So as a comparison, here's 3PO. And yes, those pieces at the elbow are stationary. And he has no elbow articulation in the original 3PO. Where this one has movable, which is on forearm. I didn't even realize that. I think I missed this when I did the review of this initially, that he had that extra piece that goes back and forth. So that's it is from that. And I believe these are the same hands, yes. So, yeah. So basically, this is a 3PO body with a forearm hands and the new, actually you could say forearm arms, if you will, with different hands then, is how you get this piece. So the only new pieces they had to create were the new hands with the pieces on it. So Chopper is an amazing piece. I love all the different pieces that move, all the extra parts and everything. This is a definite A+ figure. They gave us so much with this that's been missing with so many other astromechs. I love it. Like I said, I'm not a fan of Chopper so much. It's not that I hate him. It's just I'm not a big fan of him like some people could be. But this is a definite A+ figure. For Obi-Wan, I love the likeness. I love the sculpt all over. I think it's a really well done figure. And I'd probably give this figure an A if I didn't know about those hands that were in the Celebration set that were shown in the pre-release stuff from Hasbro. Okay, we're going to get alternate hands for him. And because of that, I have to downgrade him. In fact, I'm going to really downgrade it because this is something we were shown we were supposed to get all the way down to a C. We really should have gotten more with this Obi-Wan. It's still an amazing likeness. It's a great figure, but man, missing those hands. I just don't understand why Hasbro couldn't put that in. I know there's cost-cutting measures and that here and there, but we seem to really miss out. And obviously they made the molds for them, so I just don't understand why they didn't make it in this, especially when it was advertised as coming with that when they first showed it to us at the different Comic-Cons. For Ezra, I mean, it's a really well-done figure. The likeness is a little weird, but I mean, you're trying to get a likeness based on a cartoon character and go into realistic. There's no actor to go off of that, so it's hard to say. It's got really good detail with it. I'm gonna go with A- on Ezra. It's a well done figure for what it is, and again, not the biggest fan of his character, and figures just represent well. I guess I was just A- for him. Grading Aphra, again, we're basing this off of a comic book outfit, and I really want to go back and look because I know I commented how there's different belts on the 3 3/4 inch version, but I also noticed that the shirt is different, and maybe both are correct. Maybe we've seen both. The 3 3/4 inch also has almost like Carillion blood stripe type thing going down the side, whereas the 6 inch does not. So there's definitely differences between these two. I mean, there's just slight differences that were in the comic. I'd have to go back and look. But otherwise, it's a well-done figure. It's, that tattoo looks good there on her arm and everything. I'll go with a B+ on Aphra. For BT-1, this is the way an astromech should be. It should come with lots of accessories because they're just reusing an old mold over and over again. Give us something a little extra, especially at the $20 price point. And so much of the time they talk about tooling with these figures. That's what costs so much. Well, you're not doing a new body on this at all. You're making a new head. There's very little articulation on these guys, so there's not a lot of pieces. I mean, I suppose you can count the pieces inside the doors and everything there, but give us extra stuff with these. This is the way to do it. I'm going to give an A to BT-1. For 000, I'm not usually a big fan of repaints, but when repaints are warranted,
to make a different character. That makes sense. We've got that new articulation in the elbows that we had in Forlom, which is nice. We do have new hands that are they go along with the character. If you remember the 3 3/4 inch version, didn't have anything extra. It's just that 2010 3PO with the removable body parts, painted a steel gray, black, whatever you want to call it. So it's not like there's much to do on this. So we actually got something extra here, and plus the extra hands, which is really nice. So I'm gonna go with B+ on him. Well, it would be an A if it wasn't a repaint, basically, with new hands. So that is my look at the latest wave of 6-inch Black Series. It's a pretty strong wave. It seems like every Black Series wave has just been great. The only down part here was just those missing hands with that Obi-Wan. Everything else was really well done. I like seeing waves like this. I just wish we'd gotten those hands with that Obi-Wan. Maybe I'm making too much of a big deal over it. I don't know, but it seems like that should have been done. All in all, though, I do like them. And there's more to come. There's still more reviews to do. There's the Force Unleashed stuff that I'm working on. There's some more product coming out that I'm going to be able to do reviews on. So it's kind of fun. I know I kind of took a month off there. And now that I'm out of school, I'm actually setting up my collection and doing all sorts of stuff. So there's going to be some surprise and fun videos coming soon. So I hope you enjoyed this. And, it helps you decide if this is something you want to buy. And until next time, enjoy your collecting.